I have an idea. Our intro for our podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say talk A, and you're gonna immediately say bone, and then we're both gonna say podcast. So it's gonna be talka
Bone.
podcast.
Podcast.
But we're gonna say it like as fast as talka bone podcast or talka bone podcast.
Gotcha.
Let's sing podcast too. Podcast like that. Got it?
Okay. Podcast.
So we gotta be snappy on it. I can edit it to make it a little bit nicer, but just try to nail it.
Try to make it as authentic as possible.
All right, ready? Let's give this a shot. All right,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Talka
Bone.
podcast. Try it again. As soon as you say bone, just start immediately going into podcast.
Okay.
Talka
Bone.
podcast. We tried. Hey
You
guys,
told me to go right into podcast.
we'll work on it. Hey guys, I am Bander, and here is my co-host Joey, aka Joey Spicy Fries.
Joey Spicy Fries. Hello,
Are we still
everyone.
going by that? Is that really your name?
Well, I mean, I don't go by Hooligan much anymore.
You don't go by Baka. You don't go by Joey. What are we supposed to call you?
What am I to you?
I like Joey. Joey sounds good. We are here doing a podcast talking about the most recent Nintendo Direct featuring Super Mario Maker 2, as well as a Detective Pikachu review.
Oh, joy.
We're
Both
gonna
of those are great things.
We're going to talk about it today. Let's get started. Do you want to do Mario or do you want to do Pikachu first?
Let's do Mario first. It's nice and fresh. We just saw the Direct.
Nice and fresh. I actually just watched it again when I got home from work, and my God, what a freaking amazing Direct! They nailed it.
Really, really cool. Like this game looks like it's gonna be amazing.
It was really well paced. Had a lot of cool, nice surprises and stuff. Nothing like blew me away, but everything was like, yeah, this is a day one purchase for me. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Mario Maker. I thought I don't know what about Mario Maker originally turned me off of it, but I just never really got super into it. And I feel like them having, first off, 100 plus Nintendo made levels from the very beginning is a really good way to get you into the game, right?
Right. Exactly.
I love the 3D world style of that fucking car, the little car. You see
the
that?
Koopa car? Yeah.
The
that
Koopa
thing looks
car.
Cool.
I want to make so many levels based off that, and I feel like I'm in a more creative place in my life. What was your favorite thing that you saw?
My favorite thing definitely had to have been the level finishing challenges. Like, you can set it to where you have to do a certain thing before finishing the challenge. Like, you have goals.
That to me,
intuitive in a Mario game.
That to me is such an exciting feature because you can
make
really
it
build.
you want it.
Yeah, you can really make levels feel more than just side scrolling. They can feel like really big open spaces that you can travel around.
Right.
And I feel like that just makes it. It just gives it a much different depth to how you design a level. Because normally, 2D side scroll levels, you go from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. That's how you make the level. With stuff like different goals and stuff like that, like collect 50 coins or kill like let's say 4 Koopas. Now you're traveling around that stage trying to find 4 different Koopas. And if you can find them all, you win the stage. So it really changes the dynamic of how you want to make a level. I really like that.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Now, do you think you're going to be spending a lot of time creating levels or more playing levels?
I'm definitely going to try my hand at creating levels. I really wasn't that into it with the first game. I mean, yeah, I tried it here and there, but I found it more fun to go online and search levels and play them. But I definitely feel as though I'm going to give it more of a go at creating levels and being more creative.
Yeah, I feel like because this is the second version of the game, and just looking at the tools that they put into the game, it really seems like this is going to be much easier to make levels with. One of the big things that I noticed, and I don't know if this was in the first game, it might have been, I might have just never noticed it, but when testing the level and putting your Mario in to test a spot, Mario doesn't make a jump all the way. So they go back into the editor, and you can see the path that Mario takes and where he jumps. So you can adjust your platforms to fit the exact path that Mario can take. That, to me, is such a good quality of life feature, and I'm so glad they added that. And it seems like they're adding a bunch of quick menus, hot bars, and little wheels that you can select
They
things
got
a lot
the
easier
wheels
with.
now. Rather than pull down the chart and select like just a quick bar of what you want, you have the wheels to access.
Exactly. Really cool. The story mode is awesome. Very, very big fan of that. Being able to just run through a bunch of like top tier Nintendo made levels. It makes it basically just like a Mario game that you're buying.
Yeah, exactly. With the added addition of creativity to the game.
Yeah, and I think specifically just for that alone is worth buying the game for. There is a little bit of speculation that people think that there's going to be one more theme for the levels, because when you look at the direct, they drop down a menu to change different your themes from Mario 1, Mario 3, Super Mario World, and New Super Mario Bros. And then below it is the special theme of Mario 3D World.
Right.
And there's one space to the right of 3D World that would be perfect for one last theme. Now, there's a lot of different options here. There's the first one that a lot of people seem to think is Super Mario 2, which is a very different style Mario game. The Super Mario Bros. 2 would be an interesting theme. There's also the idea of Super Mario Land from the Game Boy games.
Right.
But I think those are a little boring. And I've seen a lot of people throw out four ideas actually, which are probably obvious when you start naming them. But Super Mario 64 theme, in which it looks like 64.
Right.
Super Mario Sunshine, obviously, with Flood Backpack, which would be really crazy. Super Mario Galaxy with gravity-themed options.
So, that I think could work, especially with the new night mode.
Exactly. It'd be awesome. And then the last one is Odyssey-themed, where you can capture enemies with your hat.
Oh, don't get me started, man.
Any one of those, I would be so excited for any one of those. To be honest, I would really like a Sunshine one, just because I love Sunshine and I don't feel like it gets enough recognition from Nintendo itself. I think, 64 obviously gets, tons of recognition for just being 64, and Galaxy's kind of like a renaissance of Mario, and then Odyssey's obviously the new hotness. But Sunshine needs a little bit of love. I would welcome any four of those. Which one would you most want?
I would probably most want Galaxy. That would have to be one of the games that I just absolutely fell in love with. As far as
I love
Mario
Galaxy
games.
so much. I'm really looking forward to with our new project that we're going to be starting, which we'll announce at the end of the podcast.
Ooh.
Eventually getting into the Mario version of that product. Product. Why am I saying product? Of that series of doing Mario.
That would be a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot, but it'd be really fun. And they're all good, so it doesn't even matter if it's a lot. We'll enjoy every moment of it. Let's see. Anything else that you little things that you really kind of latched onto when you saw?
Again, going back to the night mode, that was just really cool, just to see all the different forms of levels that come with it, like Upside Down in the Underground.
Oh, with the night mode, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of fun, lots of cool different ways to play. I like that they're adding more creativity that come with the slants, with the pipes, with the blocks. They're definitely giving the player a chance to make their dream stage come to life.
I feel like they're really nailing getting every little thing that was in these games into this one, because obviously they didn't have side-scrolling levels, they didn't have vertical levels, they didn't have slopes, and a bunch of other these things that they're showing off in this direct. It really just feels like they're like, hey, we got everything in this game. There's nothing we missed. Hopefully. Well, even then, it doesn't have to be perfect for me.
Right.
It just seems like
it
this.
Sure definitely seems like they hit the nail on the head with this one.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm kind of feeling like I'm not going to use too much is the cooperative build mode. I feel like that's not exactly a feature that
feels like a little overkill, because it's like you have two people in one little screen. You don't need it.
If it was available online, if you and I could do this from online, that would be really awesome, but I don't see myself using that feature.
Right.
Just myself and I guess Haley. But it just wouldn't really work.
You with two Joy-Cons in your hands. This is amazing.
Oh, best feature ever. The let's go into multiplayer and online, because boy howdy did they instantly say, yeah, we fixed the search feature. You have, I think it was called what did they call that? The more deep searching feature.
Well, you can I don't remember the exact name for it, but I think it was them talking about how you can tag your levels to be how you want them to be searched.
Like puzzle, short, challenging, speedrun, multiplayer friendly.
Yeah.
That's so great. Thank God they added that kind of feature. And they're really doing a lot of like player or creator focused stuff where you can make your own profile and have like what I assume, I don't exactly remember, but like I assume you can find a creator's levels and maybe subscribe to that creator, like maybe follow that creator.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be really nice because there's a lot of Mario makers that have made a bunch of levels that you can see throughout like YouTube videos in the community, and I think having that focused in game would be really nice.
No, I agree completely.
And of course, the last thing, the biggest thing in the entire trailer was multiplayer, cooperative, competitive.
That looks like so much fun, and to see Mario, Luigi, Toad, Toadette in all the different styles of all the different games.
It's so
that's
cool.
Amazing.
Just seeing Toadette in Mario 3, it's just like that's never in my mind did I think that'd be cool to see, just like all that. And another thing is like this adds the possibility of them adding more characters to play as. Like Peach and Rosalina, or Nabbit, I guess. I don't know.
Nabbit, oh goodness.
Yeah. And they didn't really talk about anything about amiibos, but I hope that they bring back the amiibo stuff that they had for the Super Mario 1 theme.
That was one thing I liked about the Mario Maker 1 was the mystery blocks. I liked all the different little characters you could get out of it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I hope that they bring that back.
I do hope that brings back. Just make amiibos make amiibos relevant again, please. The one thing that concerns me that I don't think they confirmed is the ability to play stages with friends online. They showed off being able to play with what I believe is random people from around the world, but I don't know if they explicitly said you can invite a friend like you from Wi-Fi and play specific levels online. They said random levels.
Said local you could do with friends if you and 3 other people have a Switch, but yeah, I don't recall them saying online either. I'm sure they would have it though. There's gotta be.
This is Nintendo we're talking about. This is the company that took a feature, the feature of being able to play with someone right next to you in Super Smash Bros. And take them online and play with other friends around you.
Yeah.
Took that out after having in the last 2 Smash Bros. Games. They literally went backwards in online features in Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing online, nothing having to do with online surprises me when it comes to Nintendo. They could either really nail it, or they could fuck it up horribly. Who knows? But anyway.
Well, let's only hope that they get it right.
Get it right, please, God. It looks really cool. All the features they've added looks awesome. Themes look awesome. The different styles of level looks really cool. Everything just looks awesome. And I think they have a really good content from the start, and then with Nintendo's sort of games as a service style, where they just give you constant free updates, and how they were doing constant free updates in Mario Maker 1, lead me to believe that we'll be getting more characters, we might be getting some new styles and stuff like that. Sounds super fun.
Definitely, you are right. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Another thing, one last thing to talk about, they had that special voucher program where you could buy, for $100 you can buy 2 game vouchers, which you can use for this game as well as any other game. So you basically get $20 off 2 games total, which is pretty cool. I like that. You can use it for the new Fire Emblem game, hopefully Pokemon, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is what I think I'll be doing.
Yeah, sounds like a good deal. I don't know if I would partake in it, but it sounds like it'd be a good deal.
For games that I know I'm going to buy day one, which would hopefully be. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom. I feel like I'll wait until I get a review score from that.
Same.
But if not that game, then for sure Pokemon, like absolutely, and Zelda Zelda Link's Adventure.
Oh yeah, that game
Those-
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are day one purchases, and just having $10 off them, hell yeah, why not? And the last thing I would like to talk about is Joey. Did you know that red Yoshi spit fireballs?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw the direct today.
Alrighty, let's get right on to our review of Detective Pikachu.
Yay!
The review we're about to show off is going to be a full spoilers review. There is no point from this point on. We are doing full spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, please go watch it. We do recommend it. We do like the movie. 100% recommend it. Please go watch it so we can get more of these movies. But everything from here on out is full spoilers. We've known about this movie for so long. Since what feels like probably a year ago, maybe, is when the trailers first started popping up. And from the very start of those trailers, you knew that this was going to be a special movie. And here it is. Detective Pikachu comes out, and it is pretty good.
It was
what I'd
really
say.
good. I enjoyed it a lot.
To me, this is easily the best video game movie of all time. And I'm so glad that the people who made this movie, you could just tell so much that they cared so much about making this right. Like, it really shows with all the little details. The fact that you have Pokemon from all different generations. You can see all these little posters and signs everywhere that like point to different regions or different references to Pokemon and stuff like that. There was a poster that's like a battle between, you can watch a live battle between Articuno and a Steelix. Like, people have Articunos. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like, it's neat
Yeah, and
that they would have that imagination in a movie like that.
I started Pokemon in Gen 1. I love Gen 1. I enjoy Gen 1. I love all the Pokemon in Gen 1. But I am so tired of Gen 1 being like some exclusive, like we can't confuse anyone else with any other gens because everyone only, like the vast majority of people only remember Gen 1, which is fucking bonkers to me because there's more people who have grown up with other generations than Gen 1 at this point. So I'm so glad that they didn't go that route and just do Gen 1.
Yeah, it was they definitely went heavy on Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, but
Oh, I'm fine with having
a good mix of
I'm fine with them having like a ton of different Gen 1 Pokemon. But just the fact that they have a spread of different generations, like they had Trico, Greninja, there was Totodile, Ludicolo, Snubbull, Apom,
Sneasel,
Greninja.
Sneasel was a lot of partner Pokemons in the city.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it was really cool to watch. You know, the Pokemon battle they had with Blastoise and Gengar was really cool. There's a couple things that I would say were kind of a downer for me.
Was that Pokemon battles are illegal?
No, that was cool. That was cool that they had that the city is just like, yeah, no, you just can't do it here. You could do it elsewhere, but just not here.
What's your downer then?
I felt like a lot of the action sequences were kind of bland and didn't really add anything to the story or the movie. Like the chase scene with the Apom, it was interesting for a little bit, but like it didn't really do anything as far as like a Pokemon movie is concerned. And like the part where they're running on the Torterras was just like a big action set piece. It wasn't really Pokemon like. The Pokemon battle itself, though, that was pure Pokemon, and that's what I really liked.
Right, I get that, and you know, you also have to think it's hard to take a Pokemon game and translate it into a movie, as far as how a game would go, and then how you want to envision it.
If only they had 10 years worth of anime and anime movies to reference off of.
Apparently they don't.
I understand, like, you know, budget restrictions when it comes to the Pokemon Company, because I know that you could definitely tell that they wanted to go a little bit more adult in this movie, but they were definitely held back in terms of this needing to be a kids movie. and I understand all these kinds of limits that they have for the movie, but I felt like there could have been better set pieces for these action sequences that made them more feel like Pokemon. And I think the suggestion I would have is utilizing Pokemon moves and using Pokemon moves as the solution to these action sequences more so. Whereas, like, the Apom sequence was just him running away, and same thing with the Torterras, that was just him jumping over the thing, which is why I love the thing with the Psyduck, where they use the Psyduck's confusion attack to stop all the Greninja. That was really cool. Right, but I feel like
all you have is a Psyduck and a Pikachu when you're trying to escape from the Torterra. Like, what could you do?
Well, it just set yourself up in that scene to have more uses for your Pokemon. And, you could have had wild Pokemon come in and, like, oh my god, look, a pack of Pidgeotto, quickly, jump on them, we can escape, or something like that. Just something where, there's a bunch of Pokemon around you. Obviously, at the end of there, they found all the Bulbasaur, but it's just like, don't have action just for the sake of action, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And Ryan Reynolds killed it in this movie.
I agree. I love Ryan Reynolds, and he just continues to surprise me with his performances.
Yeah. Gotta say, Ryan Reynolds is a hot dad. He is
there it is.
The hottest dad I've ever seen. I came out of the movie just smiling. I'm like, God damn, Ryan Reynolds, he's a hot dad.
He's a hot dad.
I thought it was really funny too. Great, really funny movie. Some of the more kiddish jokes, don't exactly land with me being a 25-year-old adult. But some of the things like the little cocaine joke they snuck in, the smell my finger thing.
Yeah, right.
It's just funny. It's just funny. I really hope that they can. People were saying, like, how are they going to do a sequel? How are they going to do another one of these without Ryan Reynolds Pikachu? Just be like, Ryan Reynolds woke up one day, he was back in the Pikachu body. Like, you don't need him. The plot doesn't make any sense to begin with. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
Just throw him back in the goddamn Pikachu.
Right.
Yeah. What else to say about it? I thought the Pokemon fit in really well. Like, obviously, there's always that worry that, who would have thought? And, if only we had an example of a video game character being put into a realistic movie and being completely CG and stylized to be completely different than how you're used to. There's no example I can think of in recent times of that being done badly. So I'm glad Pokemon really nailed it this time.
Yes, I'm glad they did too.
No examples at all. Not that I can think of. Yeah, did you think that... Were there any parts where you felt like they weren't exactly real, or did you think you were immersed the entire time?
I was immersed from the very first flock of Pidgey and Pidgeotto that I saw flying over the town, or the village.
Yeah. They nailed it. Animators, like, if anything, any part of this movie deserves an Oscar, it's the animators.
Definitely. Like, the entirety of the movie just made me wish that somehow it was real.
Yeah. I remember one part that I was really excited about, but that just didn't lead anywhere, was when he first grabbed that little vial of the R, and it had what very clearly looked like a Rocket R, like Team Rocket R, and everyone around me was like, "Oh, it's Team Rocket," but they didn't do the thing with it. There was nothing about Team Rocket in there.
That was a wasted. That was a waste.
The only thing that I would say is the fact that it came from Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is made by Team Rocket.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's the only thing. And they did say, which is awesome, that Mewtwo escaped from the Kanto region 20 years ago. And recently there's been talks about Detective Pikachu 2, a Red and Blue movie, and a Mewtwo movie. So
that'd be pretty badass.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for more. Give me more. Too. I love this stuff. I'll go watch whatever you throw at me. What else?
Favorite Pokemon? Go.
Mr. Mime, for sure.
Yeah.
He's just like...
very funny.
the entire scene, like that was a scene that they showed off in the trailer, and you kind of expect like that's gonna be the scene. They're just showing the scene. That's pretty much all it's gonna be. But the ending of that scene was horrific, hilarious, super dark. I can't believe that got past Nintendo, but it was so good. Such a perfect scene.
Definitely. It was
What was your favorite Pokemon?
Ditto.
Oh, Ditto. God.
Loved Ditto.
They said that was one of the moments they really set up perfectly, showing her off at the beginning of the movie and just being like, who is this character? Like, is she a reference to something? Like, you're just kind of thinking about it. And then coming out at the very end, it's like, oh, with like the perfect anime reference.
Oh, yeah. Ditto's messed up face.
That Ditto kicked butt. That was a crazy Ditto. The main villain, I gotta say, what was his plan? His plan didn't make any sense. His body just sitting there while he's like infecting all these other Pokemon with human disease. And it's just like, did he not think someone was gonna come around and smack the headset off of him?
I guess not. Like,
how was he supposed to pee?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It must have transferred over to Mewtwo somehow.
Yeah.
You know, one part of that movie I thought was just like the most pointless thing out of the entire movie, maybe not the most, was his Eevee. Like, they literally walk into the office, the Eevee evolves into Flareon, and just walks off.
I think he was trying to make a point of showing evolution, but showed the Eevee at the beginning. They didn't show the Eevee.
They didn't. They literally just, they showed the evolution of their walking in. Also, they didn't show, like, a Firestone or anything.
There were stones on his desk, apparently.
Oh,
as a little Easter egg. So it's supposed to kind of indicate that.
Ah.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit of a weak spot. I think I would love to see... I want this movie to do well because I want them to get a bigger budget for the next movie.
Right.
Because you can really tell... I think the scene that I can point to the most is the scene where Pikachu is actually fighting Charizard. A lot of that scene, they really zoom in on Pikachu and don't really show you Charizard a lot as you're running around. You can watch that scene back and you'll be like, they're really trying to hide Charizard and not have him animated as much because they really, they have Pikachu down, but Charizard obviously being a lot harder to animate.
That's just the budget right there.
Yeah, I want to see that with more budget. I want to see them have a Pokemon.
Blastoise and Gengar.
Yeah, the Blastoise Gengar thing was perfect.
Yeah.
I want to see them have the budget to have a lead Pokemon with all the attacks they could possibly use.
Right.
Because limiting Detective Pikachu to not having any attacks fits story-wise, but in the end is kind of a boring idea because you really want to see those electric attacks come out on the big screen, not just in that final fight with Mewtwo.
Right.
And Pokemon animate-wise is always really creative with how they use the attacks for the most part. Well, maybe not for the most part. For some of the part.
You know what would have been better instead of Blastoise versus Gengar? They should have done Nidorino versus Gengar.
Oh, that would have been funny.
As like a little callback to the intros to the Pokemon games.
Yeah. The only thing is I like Blastoise. I
love Blastoise too, but I'm just saying, like, you could have turned something so great into something so much better.
But for me, I'd rather have that fight with Blastoise than the little reference to the game. Because they already had plenty of references in itself.
True. Plus, that whole water blast while spinning around, taking all the clones, that was pretty cool.
That was pure Pokemon to me. That was perfect.
Yeah.
That's why I love that fight. And then the only other thing I want to talk about is the end credits where they have all the characters as actual trainers.
Yeah.
That was an amazing end credits animation.
That would be so cool if like Sword and Shield came out and their trainer models were in the game.
Oh yeah, you just have Tim. He's just there. He's like, my father works in Rhyme City. Well, I think that's about going to do it for our review of Detective Pikachu. Please go see the movie. It's awesome. I don't know why, if you're listening to this, you haven't seen the movie.
If you haven't seen it, get out.
Get out. One more thing. I'm surprised there wasn't a Danny DeVito reference. I thought he'd make a cameo, but I guess not. Do you know about that? People originally wanted Danny DeVito to voice Pikachu.
That's right. I remember.
And they apparently tried him out, but it didn't fit. They thought Ryan Reynolds fit better, which by all means it worked. But I expected there to be a little Danny DeVito cameo at some point. But
I think
I thought
Pikachu would be funny.
I thought that Danny DeVito was the voice on the TV when Tim first walks into his room, but I guess that's not it because it wasn't. But I swear it was. Never mind. Anyway, to tease a little project that Joey and I are working on, we are going to be starting very soon a week by week marathon of a certain game series where we're going to be playing every single game in that series, mainline game in that series. We're not playing all the spin-offs because that would take forever.
No spin-offs.
And we're going to be ranking them from start to finish and creating the ultimate, clearly the definitive, because we are definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Qualified enough to make that decision. The definitive list of, or definitive ranking of that video game series. And it'll lead up to a certain movie event coming out later this year. So that's a little tease for what that's going to be. So tune in for that.
It's going to be special.
Yes. All right. I am Bander. This is my buddy Joey Spicy Fries. And you've been listening to Taka
Phone
Podcast. Woohoo! Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.